Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Moment with Maudy and Dr. Arlene. I'm your host, Dr. Arlene Diamco, the multidimensional MD. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm an integrative physician, a pediatrician, and a cranial osteopath. And my mission is to help bring spirit back to medicine, bring back this multidimensional aspect to health so we can normalize the conversations of the most important things in our lives. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Today, of course, I have with me my friend and mystic and best-selling international author and motivational speaker, Maudy Fowler. So welcome, Maudy. I'm so glad to be back here with you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Arlene. Me too. I was so much looking forward to embrace you and everybody at home. So welcome at home. And thank you, Dr. Arlene, for having me again. And well, we have a lot to share.
Yes, and our topic today is rise. So you may be feeling this as we enter into the warmer weather. And Maddie, I'm going to let you explain a little bit more about that.
Yes, so let's go ahead and take this away. Rise, okay? In this so intense time, I'm going to read you something that I've posted on our Facebook. So, and it's the topic rise. And this, you can actually recognize your message in it to what you're going through in this intense time, whether it's the loss of the loved ones, whether it's, the jobs, the job loss, the things that are so much as hardship levels in front of you. So I'll read you something, and then we'll talk and discuss this and exchange thoughts with Dr. Arlene. So dealing with hardship can take a toll on us. The pain of loss of loved ones, facing loss of jobs again, relationships, and also the relationships taking a different turn, and so much more to battle and to struggle with in this intense time. When you're facing the intensity of life hardships, it is important to have your inhale and exhale moments. Turn to prayer. Find joy, laughter, so to get back to your authentic self. It will energize, empower you, and help you rise above all of that you're challenged with. Also, in order to rise, you can change your stress and pain into purpose. Create goals and ask for help. Then find a purpose in those goals. These steps in life can help you find solutions and give you peace of mind. You're stronger than you think. So turn to faith and just get your strength out there. Look at your strength, never ever the weakness. And then rise. Stand up, build up, look up, and see what else you can do for you. Rise above with love, and remember, when you're going through all of these difficult times, you're a kite, and a kite always rises against the wind. Okay, so I'm going to read to you a poem, and that poem will also help you. It's also posted on our Maudy Fowler and Gail Hunt official page, Facebook, and it's called Rise Above with Love. Always know that wherever you go, a heavenly guide will be at your side to whisper words of love and help you rise above life's obstacles. So, Dr. Arlene, with everything going on, you went through so much. You lost your dad. We just had a youth embracement of your family with the Zoom presentations. And I just noticed there is so much more, not only with your family, not only with families who deal with loss of loved ones, but with so many things that you're facing. Now, please share to how you rose above your experience with everything going on that you had to face.
Sure. Well, gosh, there's so much I can say about this, like in my personal life, and then also what I've noticed in trends and what's going on with my patients as well. But for me personally, I know in this last group that I had with you, you told me that to be able to connect with my dad, who crossed over a few months ago, to be able to connect with him even more, I had to let go of him completely. So not to feel like wanting to cling to him in this human life form. And of course, that's very difficult to do because it's so raw and vulnerable. But feeling like these energetic attachments and cords that I wanted to hold on to feel like, I had that piece of him still. And I've, of course, been letting go, but I knew that there was more to do. And so that night I lay down and I just let silent tears just like flow and flow and flow. So I let these silent tears come down, and I could feel, I consciously chose to allow like whatever attachment I had to him, to his human form, to let those lift off and return to him so that he could be wherever he is more fully. And in the process of doing this, it's like I could feel him forming, for me, in terms of my perspective, forming more fully in spirit. So I could actually feel his presence more and more as I released and let go more. And it sounds like it's opposite, but it's not. And I'll tell you, this process, of course, seeing in other people and having gone through it myself, it is so raw and vulnerable because I am used to feeling these connections with my dad in physical form. So to release them feels like you don't know exactly who you are going to be without that. And so it feels like a part of you is leaving with it, but it's not. What's happening is that you're allowing yourself to step into your strength. And I'm allowing all of this energy to return to my dad so that we can both feel more fully present, energetically, spiritually. And then in that way, the connection is even stronger. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
Yes, and people can recognize and identify themselves in what you bring to the attention. That's why, I asked them, it's good to share. It's good to share all of these topics because when you are tuning in at home and you're dealing with all of different losses, the loss of loved ones, especially in this, intense COVID time where things are rapidly changing, where, so many people deal with people who lose their family members of shootings, and the list goes on and on and on in so many hardship levels. That's why it's good to recognize what Dr. Aline, what you just mentioned, and shared with the people. What I shared with what I posted, what was posted on the website of the Facebook, it is all of that to help you look at your strength and go through your mourning and grieving. And that's what you shared also with the people at home. Very important. Go through your mourning and grieving. But here's the thing for you all at home when you are tuning in. Do not let the situation and the sadness control you. Maintain to stay in control. Help yourself to recognize that at some point in time, you have to let yourself know, you know, I need to move forward. I need to see what's there for me. I need to help others with what I was going through. That's a sort of paying it forward. Remember, in the things that in this paragraph, what I just read to you is that, you need to find a purpose and meaning and a goal. See, what Dr. Aline, what you just shared is paying it forward. How did you handle it? How do people handle it? So recognize that, identify yourself, and see, okay, I'm going to do it this way. But very important, turn to faith and see, yes, I am gifted with the gift of clear hearing. Okay, no medium, no psychic, but clear hearing. So I can hear your loved ones. Is it freaky? No, not at all. It will help you because your loved ones in heaven are doing earthly work from heaven to help you do heavenly work here on earth. And so, for that matter, when you go through all of these stages of dealing with the loss of your loved ones, they actually can hear you. They can so be connected with your mindset and hear what's going on in here, and they actually acknowledge you. But when our emotions are in the way, like have your own way of dealing with the emotions, Dr. Elena, so many of you at home, they cannot get through. And Dr. Lean shared with me what you actually witnessed that, and I will let Dr. Lean share that with you, how she witnessed the messages from heaven from her dad and for so many. They actually will let you know that they heard your thoughts. They will let you know that they see what you're going through. So they will give you acknowledgement, like maybe you looking at the clock, 11:11, like the sequence of numbers, like maybe finding a penny on the floor, on the ground. And you know the phrase, a penny for your thoughts.
Mhm.
So it is them acknowledging you. We got you. We heard you. Help is on the way. So after that, I'm going to throw it back to Dr. Aline to see what she can share with you in what this a talk from me to you means for Dr. Aline. Dr. Aline,
Yeah,
how?
and what you said, it takes courage to turn to faith, to turn to love, that even though you feel down, you can love yourself through it. So to allow yourself to go through the process. And I can feel my dad's presence, and I can see it in myself and my family, and then in the choices that we're making too, because he was an avid gardener and he loved flowers and he felt really close to God, like working with nature. And so I'm finding myself like wanting to return more to the garden, and I see that in other family members as well. So it's like what you said, turning and turning the challenges into purpose. And I love what you said. You never know what your strength is until you're faced with challenges. And
Yes.
when you see people that seem to be like naturally happy and successful in whatever way you think they are, you don't know what they've been through. You're seeing that tip of the iceberg, and you don't know what they've felt or what they've had to go through in their life. So it's always a choice, and it's always takes courage. It doesn't mean that you don't hurt, but it's the courage to love yourself anyway through the hurt. And that is a way where you can feel like, instead of having this heavy burden where it starts to, you rise up to the challenge. What you always say, Maudy, you turn that luggage into a backpack where it feels lighter. And instead of feeling weighed down by it, you have more tools that you can use to face these challenges. And it's not always easy. I'm not saying, I don't want to be flippant about it, because I had to also just be so conscious of it. Like, it didn't happen just by chance. I wanted this, and I allowed it, and I chose to help myself through it. And it wasn't ignoring the pain. Instead, it was being okay with it. And that's how much love you can have for yourself, for someone else, that no matter how much discomfort or pain they're going through, you can have the courage to choose love, to choose trust, to choose faith. And I see this so much with my patients as well, and going through in this time, just feeling like these heaviness, and wanting to lift off and release any old patterns, or things that no longer serve them, or old ways of thinking.
Yes, and see, that's the thing, changing the patterns. A good thing that you brought that up, because once we go through our mourning and grieving, sometimes we fall back in the old patterns as doing the same old things that actually can work against us, against the self. So I'm so glad you brought it up, because that actually can also trigger a change. By making changes with yourself, by doing something different. It's kind of like April is really new beginnings. After Easter, it's just totally new beginnings, new things, no luck. Okay, so it's just what you're comfortable with, and how you want to, address yourself, and how to do you want to pay it forward. And see, we embrace so many of you at home to help you, to help you understand that you're not alone. You're not
Mhm.
alone. We are all here to help you through it. And they are all here to help you through it, as long as we have faith. And so, with that big faith, it doesn't matter what religion. No, it's about faith. God is so much here. He allows your loved ones in heaven to help you move forward. And then when you are there to pay it forward. And that's what we can share once we're going through these events, these difficult experiences. And sometimes you are at home still taking care and being the caretaker. Okay, but here's the thing though, and what I want to share, and Dr. Aline knows this, is why we love exchange thoughts with each other, because once we pay it forward, once we get to this thing to take care of others, and maybe you are still doing that, God sent us to earth with love, for love, by love. Dr. Arlene mentioned, you said love, courage, and faith. And so when God sends us to earth with love, for love, by love, okay, we need to touch base with everything that we can embrace with that big love, because once we are there to recognize ourselves, we then are there to help others. But do not make people your problem, people. Okay? Do not, again, I repeat, make people your problem. You are there to present them with choices and then go about your way. See, with me, I'm now global. But I do not get up with your problem, and I do not go to bed with your problem. I am here to assist you and navigate you, to give you the light, to pass on the torch, to let you know how, but never to tell you what you have to do. And see, so that's why when we, Dr. Aline and I, are so much embracing you all and letting you know, hey, this is how you can do it. What do you think? And that is
It,
exchanging thoughts. So,
yes.
how
And
do you
being
think about,
clear,
sharing? Yeah.
being clear that you do want to rise up, of how you want to process it. Of, I told you I made that choice, and it was a conscious choice, and it was difficult, but to be clear. And I'll tell you like a funny story. When we were at the beach and then we went to the pool, I jumped in the pool, and then my two little ones, they're 7 and 10, they said, "Mommy, do you have your swim diaper on?" And I'm looking at them like, "What?" Then they pointed at the sign by the side of the pool, and it said, "Swim diapers required." And it didn't say who it was required for. It just said swim diapers required. And I thought that was so funny. I just started cracking up. But then it got me thinking about, we love words in my family, and how important it is to be clear about what you mean and what you want. So, in one situation, swim diapers required. If that was by the toddler pool, that would make sense. But if it's by the adult pool, it no longer makes sense. So you can see how, at one point, old patterns served you well. You want those toddlers to wear their swim diapers. But at some point, as an adult or a bigger kid, it is no longer necessary. So to be clear and to choose and to know how you're saying it and presenting to yourself, because there's no need to wear swim diapers if you no longer need them.
But actually, what comes to mind when you said that is actually the word protection. Okay, as soon as you mentioned this story, something came to mind, and it says protection. Now, protection is in all different ways to understand. You protect yourself from whatever situation may occur in that pool or in that water, okay? But you also protect others. Okay, so the word protection comes to mind. And to elaborate on that protection, going through life, right, with that small story, that is an excellent story to share, because it is something simplicity and common sense in a way that we might not understand what their story is behind it. But when you are protecting yourself, you're protecting yourself from different obstacles, right? And to recognize the obstacle is to avoid the problem. You got that at home? So here it is. Okay, protecting yourself is also protecting yourself from what is going on now. Because when people are in the pool, I don't know how that works with viruses and all that stuff. They leave that up to the people who are professionals in that way. I'm just saying, protect yourself. you know? It cracks me up when you mention it, but I just see that we need to protect ourselves from the outside. And, and that is now the truth. We have to
Mhm.
protect ourselves from the outside coming in.
And I know
Yes.
it's just a funny example, and I see with my kids too. So all different ages, and you know, being able to be there and to protect them in a way, to know what they're capable of, and no matter what they go through. So, say they go through a difficult interaction with a friend or something like that. My job is to create this nest of love that they're okay going through it and that they can figure it out. And with whether or not I need to intervene, it depends on the age, but to know that they're okay when they feel that I'm okay with them, even though they're going through something difficult, then they feel more secure, more okay. And so it's a very it's a gentle but strong kind of protection, that protection of love, where really nothing can touch you because your love is so big. So no matter what you go through, you
Exactly.
are okay.
Yeah, and that's so well put and well said. And people at home can really identify themselves with what you shared. And I hope you all at home, see what you can do for yourself with what we bring to your attention. And it's not easy. You're so right, Dr. Lean. It's not easy. Everybody has to
Mhm.
handle their life in how they are comfortable with. But for you all at home, and it's not what happens to us, but how we handle it. And God is love, so I know that things happen for a way that we need to recognize and understand it,
Mhm.
and something good will always come forth out of it. And heaven is always looking at how where our strength is. So please look at your strength, never ever the weakness, and see how you can deal with all of the things around you. And I love the stories, of protection and of the things that we need to do different. And it's just a beautiful way of recognizing and again moving forward.
Yes, and when we do this together, it's even more powerful because there's that saying,
Yeah,
like, as the tide rises, all ships rise. So it's
yeah,
yeah, we do it together, and then it's that much more. So,
yes,
well,
exactly. So me too, I agree with you.
well, thank you, Maudy. It's always so fun to get on here with you, and it's like we are just sitting and having tea or coffee, and one day we will do it in person too. And we always have so many fun
Yeah,
conversations, and really this is just us chatting and sharing about our lives and sharing what we notice and our perspectives, and hopefully that helps you as well. And like we said, we're all paying it forward, and the more we can do that, we can help each other rise. So thank you all
exactly.
for being
And
here.
for you all, yes,
Go
thank you
ahead,
so
Maud.
much. And Dr. Lean, thank you for sharing. And remember again, a kite always rises against the wind. And turn to faith and your fear will disappear. So hold on to that big faith, and give yourself time. And I thank Dr. Lean so much for always inviting me for this moment. So I hope you'll make a moment for you, and hope we'll see you and hear so many stories of people who can be in touch with Dr. Arlene and then ask you questions. We would love to answer your question. And then for next time, let's talk, Dr. Arlene, about the power of the mind, because that's
Okay, that
something
sounds great.
interesting how it actually works with everything around us. So yeah, and Dr. Arlene will notify you all and let you know on all the social media when our next date will be. And I'll be happy to exchange thoughts with Dr. Arlene about the power of our mind. And it's very powerful. You really don't want to miss this. So tune in next time. Dr. Arlene? Back at you.
Thank you. Yes. If you'd like to connect with us, you can connect with me at All Worlds Health on Instagram and Facebook, and my website, allworldshealth.com. And you can connect with Maudy Fowler on her Instagram as well, maudy.fowler, and on Facebook as well. It's what's your Facebook again, Maudy?
It's Maudy Fowler and Gail Hunt official page, Facebook, and soon we will let you know a little bit of changes of that. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm so excited to move forward. And again, look up and build up, and thank you again for sharing.
Thank you, everyone. Lots of love to you, and we will see you next time with the power of the mind.
Bye bye.